Notice, in accordance with the new copyright regulations, this episode, Quoth the Raven, is intended for ages 16 and up. While some of the content we will feature is kid-friendly, the context of the episode is to address adults and inform them of said content for them to research as consumers in service of their youth. In other words, grandparents, parents, aunts and uncles, teachers, librarians, etc. There is a possibility of adult language present on the episode as well. Rated TV 16 and up. And welcome once again to another edition of Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven. I'm your host, Lewis Bright Raven, 29-year professional writer, illustrator, editor, and talent scout in comic, science fiction, fantasy, horror, and role-playing game communities. And today is Tuesday, March 30th, 2021. And it's our end of the month review of previews that just came out, the catalog last week. And we had a couple of extra books that we needed to review from yesterday, so we're going to go ahead and get into those real fast. It's going to be quite the episode. Let's go ahead and get those reviews started with Broken Land 1 through 3, $3.99 each. The publisher and creator is Drew Morrison. The genre is environmental existentialism comedy, released from February 2020 to March 2021, and there's probably going to be more issues. The first two covers are depicted here. And what it's about, Broken Land is a comedic story of growth, change, and a growing waste problem. It takes place in a tough city populated by all manner of weirdos and centers around Miso, a timid creature whose intentions often go overlooked. Miso would like to do some good, but isn't sure where to start. In this first issue, several events offer a path. In issue 1, he steals thrown away donuts from the trash and gives them away, which leads to rats flooding the donut store. Then he goes to his day job at a recycling trash plant where he picks certain objects from trash conveyor belts. There's a trash gem in one of the chutes, and he is the only one who can fit, so the boss makes him go down the chute to clear the gem. And of course, once he clears it, they drop him down it. How nice of them. As a result, he almost dies twice, and he loses control of his bowels, and he finally does reach to safety. His co-workers mock him, his boss demands he cleans up where he messed, and Miso just quits his job and walks out on them. On the way out of the junkyard, he slides down a trash mound, not a trod mound, but a trash mound, and he goes flying out of the area and crash lands nearby where he meets a wizard lizard or a lizard wizard. Weird stuff, eh? That's the end of the first issue. In the second issue, the lizard wizard merges Miso with an octopus and transforms him into this kind of octopus being. And Miso goes into the ocean to find all this trash underneath the ocean. He's trying to clean that up. Overwhelmed, Miso comes back to the ocean and reformed back to himself, but he's saddened by the experience. Then the lizard wizard merges in with a worm-like entity and a skeleton of a dead animal, and Miso has a trippy vision from that as well. In issue number 3, the cover seen here, Miso leaves the lizard wizard's home and goes back to the recycling plant and uses the wizard's spell to turn his boss into a slug. Then he goes out in society and keeps trying to use this spell to clean up the area in different ways and means. It gets pretty wild, and it becomes a metaphorical wish for not just cleaning the environment, but crime, physical violence, racial intolerance, all kinds of societal ills. But Miso doesn't understand the consequences of his actions, and things get a little crazy at the end of the issue, leaving us with a nice cliffhanger awaiting the next issue. Morrison's comics are all silent, relying on just the visual storytelling. Thematically, he's doing a story about the various forms of toxicity that humanity, even though he's using all mutants and mutated personas in the story, it's about humanity and what we've created in the environment and how we need to take responsibility and increase awareness without being preachy about it. He's very good at this. Truthfully, his visuals tell it all so well the text would be overkill. I recommend it for ages 13 up. I give it 4.5 stars overall. And if you want to know more about this book, you can actually go to the YouTube that you see there. You can also go to Quoth the Raven Lewis Broadway from my regular channel and look up the episode from a month ago when I interviewed Drew and we talked about this series at length. And I'll leave that up there for you to see a little bit longer. And I'll probably put it down below on the YouTube channel thing as well, if it'll let me. It doesn't seem to want to let me on that. I'll see what I can do about that later. But anyway, that is it for now on that. Let's take a look at some of the artwork for it, for those of you who didn't see the original podcast from a month ago. Here's some of the artwork with Miso stealing the donuts. Well, he steals a bunch of different things. He's trying to steal the donuts, but then he opens one bag and it's a bunch of rotten fruit and vegetables and stuff from one restaurant. Then he opens another one and it's all fish heads from the seafood restaurant. But finally, he gets the donuts and sneaks them out. And then he gives the donuts to different people and different things. And it's kind of funny. He tries to give it to a frog. No, thank you. He tries to give it to a bird. Bird craps on him. He just tries to give all the donuts away to everybody. Tries to give puts a stamp on a donut, puts it in the mailbox. All kinds of funny little things. It's cute. Mm-hmm. And this is where he meets the Lizard Wizard from the end of issue 1. And this is the scene where he's transforming the octopus into Miso. Whoops, I didn't know you guys weren't getting the picture. Let me go back a few then. There you go. Wish someone had said something. My bad. We'll go back real quick. Again, this is first rotten fruit, then the fish heads, and he gets the donuts. And he's giving away the donuts. And that's where he meets the Lizard Wizard. And this is where the Lizard Wizard transforms him into the octopus. And he goes into the ocean and sees all the trash in the ocean and starts trying to clean it up as best as he can. And if you're not sure, those are not jellyfish in the ocean. Those are trash bags. They're kind of looking like jellyfish. And this is where he goes back, and this is in issue 3, and he gets revenge on his boss. He transforms his boss into a slug. And the boss goes and tells some other guys, and they pour salt on him and kill the boss. Next book is mostly heads. Pop Culture Avenger says that looks really interesting. Thank you, Pop Culture Avenger. You can get his books at drewmorrison.com, and I'll put all that information again at the end of the episode. This is his sketchbook work. It's $5.99. It was released in February 2021. And this is his favorite illustrations from 2013 to 2019 are featured. It's not a pinup parade, but a real sketchbook that demonstrates a raw, more experimental idea stage of drawing concepts and characters in different images. Comics kayfabers and fanzine fans who like the alternative styles of art should really enjoy this book. There are tons of images in here that I'm going to use as inspiration to do my own versions just because. That's how cool it is. Recommended for ages 13 and up, and it's 5 stars. And this is the kind of stuff that you see inside. Like I said, not really a pinup booklet. Every page is just chock full of these illustrations of all kinds. Like 40 pages of it, I think it is how I think it was. So really a nice book. Our next book is Earth Boy, original graphic novel from Dark Horse Comics for $12.95. Writer is Paul Tobin with artist Ron Chan. That's the team that does Plants and Zombies, I believe. Genre science fiction, released March 24th, 2021. And what it's about is Benson, a young teen boy who dreams of venturing into space and becoming a galactic ranger, is given a chance to make his hopes a reality when he is selected to join an elite academy full of strange characters and alien creatures. But when a combination of culture shock, bullying, and even administrative secrets shake his confidence, Benson must dig deep and prove that he belongs. Well, Tobin and Chan do a respectable job on this, but we've seen this premise way too often for me to really engage with the story. Way too many fortuitous, lucky experiences that advance Benson's status forward in his ranks in school, from discovering the first new life form in something like 85, 87 years, something like that, and giving a name to it, to figuring out that a certain race poops out a special mineral that converts to energy for starships, and so he becomes so rich that he can now purchase entire galaxies. Really? And you thought Harry Potter was lucky? Sheesh. Speaking of Harry Potter, that's the audience that this book is shooting for. Potter in Space, or a retro of the old 80s cartoon Galaxy High. I don't know if you guys remember that cartoon, but it's very much in that same vein. Like I said, though, we've seen this before plenty of times, and as such, it's kind of a meh book for me at my age, but I do think it would do very well with the middle school crowd. Recommended for ages 11 and up, and I give it 3.5 stars. Don't have any interior artwork for it, but I do have the book with me. Pop Culture Avenger says he likes Morrison style. I'm presuming that's what that is referring to. That's cool. And here is Earth Boy. And there's some of the artwork for it. It's got good art in it. It's not like there's any problem with that. Whoops. Some of the aliens, and these are the bullies that pick on Benson, that you can see on this side there. Oh, well, it's not a bad book, like I say. It's just, like I said, it's very Harry Potterish. So if Harry Potter in space without necessarily having the magic, but he knows he's got incredibly crazy luck. So there's that. Moving on to our next book is Johnny Phantasm, Devil's Night, 1985. Publisher Riot Press Productions. Writer Evan Pozios. Artist is Patrick Thomas Parnell. The genre is supernatural action adventure, and it was released March 27th, 2021, or at least that's when they released it to me, because it is a crowdfunded book, and that's when it was shipped to me, and I got it yesterday, I believe. Devil's Night, 1985, the supernatural mobster Johnny Phantasm and his fingerprint game. Love that name, the fingerprint game. They all wear masks with their fingerprints on it. It's just cool. Love that. They're stealing gold from for the phantasm spirits that Johnny's powers are tied to. However, an opposing forces come to New Detroit in the form of District Attorney Eveline Sett, who serves the Order of the Pumpkin, a cult that may be actually more evil than even Johnny's associates. And she has enthralled the children of New Detroit through candy. Trick or treat. Can Johnny save the kids and the city? Again, it was crowdfunded. I believe I bought it at the $15 level purchased. I'm not really sure. I tried to look it up. It didn't quite show me on on Indiegogo. That's where you can get it, is on Indiegogo. The story is very well done, and Pozios spins a good yarn. I think sometimes that Parnell's art gets a teeny bit wonky in the anatomy department, but overall it's a very solid book. There's been 2 books so far, this one and one that they crowdfunded earlier. And, it's just 2 one-shots they've done so far. The only sad part is how long it takes between each issue as they run their crowdfunding campaigns. They have to spend so much time with that and figuring out what extra gimmicks to give and focusing on getting all that done. But thankfully, each issue has been self-contained so far. When I see titles like these that really should be able to sustain a regular ongoing series, I wish that some of these creators would campaign for subscription for multiple issues at once instead of just doing it one book at a time. But since nobody seems to be able or willing to do it, maybe if and when I ever crowdfund, maybe I'll have to be the visionary. I don't know. The extras that came with this book were pretty nice. They're poker chips. Unfortunately, I can't find the one that I got from the last campaign. It's around the house somewhere. I'll find it. The stickers are kind of odd because there's corporate IP involved there, and that raised an eyebrow for me. I'd rather just have Phantasm characters, to be honest, but okay. It is recommended for ages 16 and up, and it is a 4-star book. Let's go ahead and take, whoops. He goes, he backed that culture against, I backed the Phantasm campaign, got the lunchbox edition with the 3 figures and clearly have not received yet. I don't believe that they've got the figures in yet. That's why you haven't received it. I think that's why. I'm not sure. But let's take a quick look what I got with mine. Again, I got the poker chips. Got a pumpkin head with a club on one. A spade with the trio of phantasms that Johnny's spirit is tied to. A Vote for Johnny campaign for 1985 with multiple club, spade, and diamond there. I don't know why they don't have a heart in there too, but they didn't. And then they've got his head, Johnny Phantasm's head, on a pentacle on one side and a spade and diamond on a pentacle on the other side. Those are the 4 pucker chips. They have, whoops, there you go, some buttons that you can put on, Riot Press, little Riot Press comics, and another pumpkin. And I got 4 trading cards. I don't know what these characters are supposed to be, but Cirrhosis Cecil. I guess there's a guy known as Cecil in the comic gate community that's supposed to be somebody important. I don't know. I guess that's what it's based on. On the back, it has Johnny Phantasm running around shooting people. There's Scarlet Heart. Johnny Don't Care, also known as Johnny Phantasm. The Pumpkin Monster, which we'll see more in a moment in the comic. And Eveline set. And those are all done in the kind of garbage pail kids style. And on the back of 4 of those cards, they make the same image of Cecil, just larger. Like, there's 2 more that go to fit the top as well. So there's that. Yeah, I knew he had one. He's not somebody I really have any interest in him or his work. So It's like, okay, whatever. If that's what he wants to make, it's what he wants to make. I'm not going to judge Evan and Patrick for doing what they want. It's their campaign. And then we got a Transformer head sticker, which again, I don't know exactly why they did a Transformer. They did. A bunch more stickers or iron-ons. There's Voltron and a pumpkin and the Riot Press comics thing on one side, and then there's some other ones back here. He-Man from Masters of the Universe, and that looks like Glorious from Appleseed, but I'm not sure. I haven't opened this together, but it's different. Again, I'm not really sure why. When I go with my own characters rather than doing ones that are not characters I own, but that's me. And then they did some, I guess you'd call them postcards. Johnny Phantasm 1985 with the DeLorean. Some of the monsters in New Detroit. Sorry about the reflection. They got a hecky nice glossy stock on it, and it just reflects off my camera light there. Kind of a Terminator piece. And then MK Ultra, which was kind of the coolest one because it had Johnny Phantasm, El Cerebro, and Gasmaster on there, which I presume are all characters from that show. So there was that, and then finally a poster came with it. So got quite a bit of stuff with that package, and certainly no complaints there. Came very nicely done, but I'm more of a guy that would just assume just have the comic and not all the extras. It's just that just to get the comic, you almost always get extras with these things, because once they even if you didn't order them, they send them to you if they get enough backers and enough campaign funds. So it's like even if you didn't ask for it, you get it. So there you go. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the interior art. This is Johnny having a dream where he's like a little kid comparative, and there's his fingerprint gang and his two buddies going up against the pumpkin lord. And he wakes up and he realizes that he's got to get with it as the fingerprint gang steals these gold statues from the library. Or not from the library, from the museum, pardon me. And then he tells two of his members of the fingerprint gang to go check out the candy factory at the other side of town, because he thinks there's something. He in his mind, he had the vision that something's happening over there. In the meantime, he goes and checks out the pumpkin festival, and he transforms back into his more human-looking self rather than his demonic spirit self. And of course, he goes up against different people, and he's chasing after Evelyn Set. That is who that female is in the bottom center on the left. And then, of course, he finds the pumpkin lord and has to fight the pumpkin lord. Ah, crap. Did it again. There you go. Sorry. Let me go back. I don't know what's going on with me today. Ah. Not having a good day today. Yeah, where we at? There we go. My bad. Again, little Johnny having a vision and showing the statues. Telling his assistants in the fingerprint gang to go check out the candy factory while he goes to the pumpkin festival. And then following Evelyn's set to face off against the Lord Pumpkin type character. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, let's go ahead and get into our preview section. Now, I did review or go through the previous catalog from Marvel and the big book. We'll go through both of those. And we'll also go through DC, but DC is going to be more or less online. So let's just go ahead and get started with Marvel. As is typical for me, I went through the Marvel previews catalog and really didn't find a whole lot of interest to anything for me personally. But you guys always want to see my reactions to the content being solicited. So here's my reactions. I'm sure that Marvel's Predator #1 will sell extremely well as their new Alien series #1 apparently sold 300K orders on the new #1 from Marvel. And that, quite frankly, disgusts me that they sold that many of an Alien #1. If retailers and fans are willing to order that many from Marvel, then this series should have been hitting at least six figures on the regular from Dark Horse, and it never even came close for numerous recent years. So I don't know if that makes the retailers really that idiotic. I mean, you really can't market a property like Aliens to six-figure sales unless it comes out from Marvel or DC. And please, for the love of God, do not try to tell me that the talent level at Marvel is better, because it's the exact same goddamn creators at both publishers that they just jump back and forth between different publishers all the time. And half the time they're working at the same publishers at the same time. So I don't want to hear that nonsense. That's not why they aren't selling. It's because the retailers aren't trying to sell it. They're too busy marketing Marvel and DC schlock. X-Books, Hellfire Gala. 12 titles for a lead-in storyline, adding up to the biggest party of the season. What the? Fuck you. Good grief, Marvel. Oh, my God. Look, I realize I'm showing my age here, but I can remember when fans were griping about having to buy just Uncanny X Factor and New Mutants at $1 a book for crossover events. What the hell is wrong with Marvel today that at $3.99 to $5.99 a book, there's 12 titles? Go away. Just go the fuck away, Marvel. Disney can shut your asses down for all I care if this is the shit you're going to give people. The fans are definitely not asking for this. What the hell are you doing? Next thing, Heroes Reborn. Ah, yes, completing the list from last month with the Squadron Supreme crap event. There's another 7 issues, plus one-shot spin-off tie-ins to boot. Each book having multiple variant covers. This is just so disgusting to me. People keep asking what I would do differently if I ran Marvel or DC. 2 things for damn sure. No spin-off one-shot tie-in books and no variant covers. Period. I don't need to flood the market with that crap and tie up my retailers' money when they could be marketing the actual product. Next, we have the Infinity Stones crossover event because they've reformed themselves. Of course they did. They're Infinity Stones. How many godforsaken crossover crap events does Marvel need to have going on at the same time? Just asking the rhetorical question. 10 issues between June and August. Why? Because you haven't already suckered the kids in with your 12 X books and your 13 Heroes Reborn books? Ugh. Next, we have Gamma Flight number 1. Again, I'm asking myself why. I realize that this is a group that was set up in Immortal Hulk by Al Ewing, and he's writing this book as well. It's a spin-off book. But Titania in the book looks more like Diamond Lil to me from the original Omega Flight. And that would make more sense to me since she's, part of Alpha Flight and Omega Flight and stuff. But apparently she died. But then again, she's a mutant. So Shirley Lil's been brought back by jovial Johnny Hickman over in the X books since she's on Krakoa Fantasy Island, right? Yeah. I also don't get the green Sasquatch. It just seems weak to me, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but if people who are enjoying Immortal Hulk, hopefully they'll pick it up. They should pick it up. But, it is what it is. Next, we have United States of Captain America number 1. Oh, I've been hearing about this for weeks, haven't I? Cap's shield was stolen. Oh, noes! And Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson are now road tripping, following the clues. Does that mean they're road tripping a la Easy Rider so that Steve can be on the motorcycle that Harry Fonda's riding with the Captain America helmet? That would be fun. Now, if they did that, I might actually, come on, do something cool, Marvel. They wouldn't have anything to do with that because probably people who write don't even know what the hell Easy Rider is. But we haven't seen this idea before. When Steve became Nomad in the 80s and the Captain in the 1990s, bore me some more, Marvel. But this time it's different. This time we have gay Captain America. And there's going to be all these inspired folks the Shield Thief wants to kill off because they're inspired by Captain America. Do I care? Emphatically, no. Speaking of Captain America, there's number 30. Deanna Ta-Nehisi Coates' run of the series. I'm sure that will please all the anti-minority readers. Myself, it's like he had a decent run. I think he did 30 issues. I don't know how many issues he did, but he had a decent enough run on the book anyway. Now to see who replaces him next issue and see how audiences react to that. Shang-Chi is number 2. So this is very funny also, given that the cover has him wielding the shield and beating up on Cap. Well said. It doesn't really matter about the trash can losing a shield. I mean, I just think it's silly. The whole idea is silly. But I mean, speaking of Shang-Chi, let me find it real quick here. I was just laughing at this because I mean, it's like, really, you're doing this? Okay, that's the Captain America thing there. Okay. Here's your Shang-Chi. Now, you just said someone stole the shield. There he is with the shield. Did Shang-Chi steal the shield? I mean, I know he's in charge of a criminal organization now called the Five Weapons Society or something. And it's like, if that's the case, then now you're saying this Asian Oriental martial artist is a killer that is racist and anti-gay and everything. It's like, and he's supposed to, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. So the fact that I don't know if that has anything to do with what's going on in the Captain America thing. I don't know if it's going on with the United States of America. It's all bad. It's all bad. But anyway, now they get around to mentioning Immortal Hulk. Only 3 issues left. Kind of odd that this is in the catalog was not placed next to the Gamma Flight number 1 solicitation. But I hope the fans who have been reading it enjoy it while it lasts. 50 issues for the run was a pretty solid run. Now, I could go on here, but I think you're getting my vibe. And I'm very tired of being indifferent or just plain annoyed and disgusted with Marvel's product. So let's just move on. I apologize. I'm sorry, Marvelites, that the company doesn't make anything I want. It is what it is. But let's go ahead and move on to DC. just like Marvel, there's not a lot there for me. I could, again, rant on all the stuff that they're doing wrong, but I think most people who are looking at both companies can see what they're both emulating from one another and why it sucks. So let's not go completely negative. Let's try to be positive, and let's look at some of the things I actually like and talk about that. Okay? Now, before we do that, I'm going to stop the screen and share a different screen with you. There we go. We got Batman, The Adventures Continue. Season 2, number 1. This is the only Batman comic I read currently. It's not just because it's the animated style version stuff. It's not about the art. It's just about the stories are actually written decent. And it's not some of the stuff that they just do. Everything they do in the mainstream Batman books it's bleh to me. So this is really the only thing I read for Batman anymore. The next one that I like, whoops, pardon me. I have to get to the right one here. Okay. And that's The Nice House on the Lake, number 1. I'm not going to get this series in singles. I'm going to wait until it's in a trade because there's 12 issues, and I'm not really interested in waiting a month. I just, 12 issues, I don't want to do that. If it was buying a mail order subscription and getting it mailed to me, maybe, but I'll just wait for the trade on this one. But it does seem like an interesting concept. It's a nice horror type comic thing that might intrigue me enough. And it's about these people that get away to a lake house and only to find murder and mystery and intrigue. So some nice artwork in there. And we're not going to do Superman Action Comics. I don't care about that. Let's see. The next one that caught my eye was actually the Catwoman annual from 2021, mostly for the cover by Kyle Holtz. Kyle's a friend of mine. I supported him for a long time. And the only thing is, it's just that he's only doing the cover and not the interior work. So I'm kind of like, I would buy it if it was him doing interiors too, but I don't know. I'll look at it when it comes out. When it comes, just to see what it is, see what it looks like on the inside. But if it's just the cover by Kyle, then I probably won't get it. Mm-hmm. Let's see what else is there. You'll have to forgive me as I skip through this whole online catalog quite a ways. Okay. There's Far Sector number 12, the last issue of the series. Written by N.K. Jemisin, drawn by Jamal Campbell. I've been following this since it started last year. And basically, it's the only Green Lantern book I've actually liked in probably 20 years. So, there you go. That's what I want to see how that comes out and ends. And then almost right immediately after that in the catalog is Green Lantern number 3, which features the character from Far Sector, Joe Moline. So I'm getting that, and it's also written by Jeffrey Thorne. I like Jeff's writing, so I'll go ahead and get that, just to see what it is so far. We'll see. The other one that I might get, maybe, I'm not sure. Um, is Mr. Miracle and the Source of Freedom #2, written by another friend of mine, Brandon Easton. And again, I'm not sure. That's something I'll probably wait and look at it in the store before I actually make a decision. I'm not pre-ordering it. So basically, all that combined, all those things from DC combined, if I get all of it, that I said I was going to either, yes, I'm getting it, or might get it in the store. If I get it all, it comes out to $18 worth of DC books for the month. Not a lot when you think about it at today's prices. And that's really everything I saw in the DC catalog that actually interested me. So let's go back to the actual previews then. Now, one thing I didn't notice was there's a free comic book day listings. And they're listed in the big book, but not in the actual order form booklet. Boo! Bad move, Diamond, bad move. Anyway, they're on pages 30 to 46 through the big catalog. And the free comic books that I might have some interest in are We Live, The Last Days from Aftershock, which is a precursor storyline to the We Live miniseries that I got and reviewed in earlier this season. Star Wars High Republic Adventures. I usually do get the Star Wars one shot, and I'll read it, and then I'll give it away for Halloween or something later on in the year. The Blade Runner one shot from Titan. I did read some Blade Runner from Titan before. Kind of got tired of it, but for free, I'll go ahead and get it. Adventures of Zorro from American Mythology. I'm really not that interested in it, but someone I know wants me to get it, so I'll get it and see what I think of it. Red Room from Ed Piskor and Fantagraphics. Not Fantas, but Fantagraphics. Bountiful Garden from Mad Cave Studios. The Tick from New England Comics and School for Extraterrestrial Girls from Paper Cuts, which I have gotten the first trade paperback of from Paper Cuts, and I do recommend that. Also, Scotty Young's t-shirt and poster design is all right, but I don't think I want one for myself. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at that. If I can get it to pull out. Trying to get a good camera angle here for it. That's the poster and t-shirt design, and you can get it on white, gray, or blue. It's an okay poster, image looking thing, but it is what it is. It's a nice generic thing that shows all the different types of fantasy and science fiction stuff, so it's cool for what it is. From Image Comics. Now, I'm not personally interested in Jupiter's Legacy, but I do know that fans of the series will be interested, so I'm making note of it for viewers of the show who might have been following it and might not have heard that it was coming out. It's a new miniseries, one issue of #1 of 5 issues, so it's on page 50 of the catalog. Then there's Compass #1, and I say, what? Is Greg Rucka now forming his own imprint image or something? Because it says Greg Rucka is proud to present, but he doesn't seem to have anything to do with the creation of the series. So it's like, what's going on here? It's kind of weird. I guess I will have to do a little bit more research on that one and get in touch with the co-writer David Walker, who I do know, for a little more information on that. That's number 1 of 5 also. It's on page 58. Cain and Abel graphic novel. I am ordering this one. Stylistically, I think it will appeal to the cartoonist kayfabe crowd. That's on page 62. Let's go ahead and show you that real quick. That is the Cain and Abel. And you can see it kind of has that Ed Piskor and Jim Rugg vibe going on there. You can see it. I can see a little bit of Octobriana in there, and some of the Red Room type of inking, outlaw inking. So I can see fans of those two guys might actually like that too. So we'll give that a shot. Vinyl might also be of some interest to some, but you'll probably want to order the plastic trade paperback with it if you haven't already bought it. It's an interesting concept about a serial killer who's trying to, he's basically an old retired guy, ex-serial killer, and he's trying to move on his life, but whatever is going on, he gets sucked into another issue of things, and it's kind of a little bit psychedelic, maybe in the 60s or something, maybe the 70s, we'll see. I'm not going to pre-order it, but I will check it out when it does come in stores. And that is on page 66 of the big catalog. Birthright number 50 is the end of the series, and the image also lists all 9 volumes of the trades. So I guess there's one more trade. I guess it would be trade maybe 5, or pardon me, maybe 10 trades, but they've got 1 through 9 resolicited for getting trade if you wanted to get Birthright. Myself, I'm just kind of indifferent to it, but the fact that they got 50 issues is a good run. I think 50 issues is about as much as a run as anybody really should do on most of these modern books. But, just my opinion there. Deep Beyond number 5 is on page 71. And they claim it's a new story arc, but I don't see how, because they never finished the first story arc in the first 4 issues, as far as I can tell. I've only read like the first 2 or 3 issues, but maybe, I don't know. But anyway, I don't know if I'm going to continue buying with this issue or not. I probably will, but we'll see. Next is Homesick Pilots on page 73. And yes, this is the next story arc. And I'm sorry, but I'm done after the first story arc. I finished with issue number 5. Then there's Hey Kids Comics, volume 2, number 2, Profits and Loss, which I thought was hilarious. Page 87. And it's issue number 2 of 6, actually. And this is basically Howard Chaykin kind of doing his commentary on the comics biz at the launch of the Image Comics era in the early 90s. A generation's brightest lights drink deep the wine of fiasco, while bosses who barely read their own comic books can barely keep track of the money pouring in. A new wave of devoted fans think they've found a calling because they just don't know any better. and in a lot of ways, that is very much what was going on in that period. So it's funny. It'll be very interesting to see what he does with that. Last thing I found from Image was Jules Verne's Lighthouse number 3 of 5. That's mostly because I've just been getting the orders already. There's 5 issues. I've already ordered the first 2. It hasn't come out yet. So hopefully it'll be good when it comes out. Looking forward to it. Our next book, our next thing I noticed that made me matter or care was from Dark Horse, Norse Mythology 2, another miniseries, number 1 of 6. And I have been getting the Norse Mythology miniseries so far from Dark Horse. It's been really good. So I don't have any reason to think it won't continue to be. So I'll get it. There is Black Hammer Reborn on page 104. For the Jeff Lemire fans, yeah, get it if you want. It is a 1 out of 12 issue miniseries. Personally, I'm kind of burned out on the whole Lemire verse, not just at Dark Horse, but everywhere. Too much product coming out and too much Black Hammer verse itself coming out. And had he not done that, I would have been interested, but he chased me off with all the different books. So I probably won't get it, but it's something worth mentioning. The Victories Omnibus on page 116. I think I already have these in single trades, but in case I don't, or I can't find them all because I haven't been able to find them in my house, I'm going to order it anyway just to make sure. And if I end up having doubles, then maybe I'll give away the other set or something. Maybe I'll put it in the local library or something. Because this is like nearly a 500-page book for $30. It's not bad at all. Then there's Beasts of Burden, Occupied Territory, number 3 out of 4. And that's one of the best series that Dark Horse puts out on page 118. Orphan and the Five Beasts, number 404, and Grendel, Devil's Oddity, number 7 out of 8. Actually, Orphan and Five Beasts is on page 118 with Beasts of Burden. I mixed that up. But I did like issue number 1 of Orphan and the Five Beasts, which I just reviewed like last week. And Grendel, Devil's Odyssey, I'm looking forward to reading the rest of that series. It's been too long because of COVID. It was on delay, but I enjoyed both of them, getting them, so that'll be good. Next is IDW Publishing, John Buscema's Marvel Artist Edition at page 142. That is the 11 by 17 full size reproduced books that show like the original art with all the corrections or non-corrections and everything on them. At $150, it's out of my price range, but I also can't say that it's not worth the money because it is. All those kind of books are worth the money when you get that sort of thing. And, if I had more income coming in, I would probably get it. But when you're getting 11 by 17 full page books of the original art like this, with notes and other things on them and stuff like that, it's going to be awesome. And it's going to be awesome. So it's worth getting. I just don't have that kind of money for it. The next thing there is The Better Place and The Girl in the Glim, which I think are both worth looking at, and I pre-ordered them both, and that is, there you go. And The Better Place is about a young boy whose hero has died, and he's gone to a better place, and now he tries to take on the mantle and find a better place and find his hero. And The Girl in the Glim is basically, the Glim is like this, all the negative energy and thoughts, monsters, and the girl's got to defeat it type thing. So it'll be interesting. Good all ages material, I think. Those will be available later in the year, but I guess August and September. I look forward to seeing those. The next things I ordered were Chained to the Grave and Canto and the City of Giants. You can see both the check marks next to them. I've been getting Chained to the Grave. It's been okay. It doesn't suck, but we'll wait and see. Kanto and the City of Giants, that's the last issue of that arc. Kanto is one of the best comic books being produced right now. So if you haven't picked it up, please check out, see if you can find them in your store or get the trade collections. You won't be disappointed. That is basically kind of a what if the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz was the lead character, and he was saving his whole tribe of Tin Men who have fake hearts, giving them real hearts and stuff like that. So it's kind of a cool thing there. Our next thing that I noticed from IDW is the Nick Fury Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Artisan Edition. Now this one is only $40, $39.99, and is 9 by 12 instead of 11 by 17. I think it's 9 by 12 or 9.5 by 12. 8.5 by 12. Okay. It's $40, but that's still bigger than comic book page size, and it collects like all 12 issues, so it should be worth $40 easily. So that should be really cool. I'm looking forward to that. It's a little more affordable edition than the $150 edition that they already did. Of course, I always get Usagi Yojimbo. Yojimbo number 20. As you can see, a check mark down here. And then Usagi Yojimbo, the Dragon Bellow Conspiracy number 1 of 6. This is a reprint from an earlier storyline in the Usagi Yojimbo line, but not everybody can get those early issues, and it's cool that IDW is reprinting them. So check it out. It's worth your time and money. And I do like the Peterson cover as well. It's cool when Stan hires other artists to do his versions, their versions of his character, rather. Let's see what else we got. I forgot something. Okay, let me go back. Pardon me. Star Trek Dead of Honor. If you have not gotten this, originally was published in the early 90s by DC. It is a Chris Claremont story with Adam Hughes art. This is a classic reprint edition, 100 pages for $10. It is available in June. Classic story, really nice book, one of my favorite Star Trek stories. And of course, I am a sucker for Claremont's work at that time. He was still in the peak of his game. So hopefully, if you haven't checked it out and you are a Trek fan, get that. It's worth your time. So let's see what else we got. We got quite a bit of stuff to go through, believe it or not. Boom Studios. We're going to jump quite a few pages ahead. And that is Good Luck. Whoops. Number 1 of 5 on page 204. And the concept here is, what if luck was a resource that was finite and you were born with only so much? And the characters that we're seeing are the ones that were born with no luck at all. and I'm thinking, well, if they had no luck at all, how did they survive the teenage years? But, just to see what happens when the characters don't have any luck and what they got to try and survive. Yeah, I'm kind of interested, so I'll go ahead and give it a shot. Plus, I happen to like the artist Stefano Simeone, so I'm looking forward to that one. Someone mentioned I should talk about Basilisk number 1 on the next page, 206. Yeah, I'm not against it by any means. I'll show it. There it is. Um, it looks interesting visually, but it's a Cullen Bunn book, and Cullen Bunn has way too damn many books out on the market as far as I'm concerned. So it's an automatic no sale to me. Um, I just get tired of seeing his name everywhere. There's other writers out there who can do interesting things too, and I'd like to see more diversity and more options than that. When I see him doing 8 to 20 books a month, it just no. Um, Sorry. But for Cullen Bunn fans, that's probably the book to get. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, I gotta find that one. Okay. There's Eve, number 2 of 5. I have a question mark. I'll probably pick it up, but I'm probably going to pick it up in the store and not pre-order it. I don't know. Because I remember looking at number 1 last month, and I didn't pre-order. I decided to wait, so that's what I'll do again on this one is wait. But I'll probably end up getting it because it's not a bad idea. It's about a girl who finds out that she's kind of like I don't want to say a robot, but anyway, she's on her own. She has to try and find her father in the post-apocalyptic world type thing going on. So should be pretty good. Aftershock Comics is next. I'm jumping forward again. Okay. Let me go ahead and do that. With Out of Body. And that's written by Peter Milligan and drawn by Naki Murata. That's the guy who did We Live. I think you can probably tell by the cover artwork. It's like that same art style. Same colorist from that series, We Live as well. And it's about a guy who's been attempted to be murdered, and he's on life support, and he has to astral project and try to figure out who tried to kill him, basically. So it should be pretty cool idea. See where that goes. Another one that people are talking about and want me to talk about is Seven Swords. And that is on page 246 and 247. And that's about D'Artagnan of the Three Musketeers, who has to fight the Cardinal Richelieu, but he doesn't have the other musketeers with him, so he has to find other swordsmen, and he gets them from all over history. And it's going to be kind of a weird storyline because I guess he's got Don Juan, Captain Blood, Serrano de Bergerac, and others with him. So it's going to be quite the odd little storyline. But if you are into that sort of thing, I might look at it when it comes out. I'm not pre-ordering it. I am getting Girls of Dimension 13, number 3. And we've talked about Girls of Dimension 13 with the writer, Graham Nolan, on this show before. We're getting the Quest number 4 by Tim Seeley and Freddie Williams 2. I just reviewed number 1. I wasn't completely impressed with number 1, but let's give the boys a chance to get this thing going. And for those of you who liked my reviews on Sympathy for No Devils or Kaiju Score, the trade paperbacks are available this month. And that is on page 252. Jumping ahead, again, some more. Quite a bit. From Black Mask Studios. We have Everfrost #1. And I have a check mark there. If I have a check mark, it means I'm getting it. At first, I had a question mark, and I thought maybe, but yeah, I'm going to get it. And it's another one of those science fiction post-apocalyptic worlds where the ice is frozen, Earth's frozen over, and she's this warrior chick. And I'm like, what the heck? Yeah, we'll try it. Worst that can happen is I don't like it, right? If you remember, I did a review on a book called Shapes. The trade paperback is also available now from Cave Pictures Publishing in $2.89. It is a resolicitation from earlier, so if you did order a trade paperback, you're going to have to reorder it. So make sure if you have ordered it from the I guess from the July catalog from last year. Yeah, from July 2020. Make sure that you reorder it because you're not going to get it if you don't reorder it. Okay? Moving a little bit further ahead in the catalog. We have A Total Waste of Space-Time, add a question mark and a check mark. It's a good book for all ages. The reason I went ahead and got it was because I got the free comic book day with these characters from a couple, I think it was last year or the year before. And I liked that, so I said, okay, I'll give it a shot and get the trade for that. And that's kind of why we get those free comic books from the free comic book day, because that way you can try something new. Doesn't cost you anything. And if you happen to like it when it comes out again, you can go ahead and pick it up because you know you might have interest in it. So those do have some benefit now and again. Let's see what else we got. From Titan Books, okay. There's a few I skipped along in here, I know I did, but we'll go to Titan anyway. And that would be Ms. Tree, Volume 3, The Cold Dish trade paperback. I just got the first volume recently. I haven't read it. My father did. He enjoyed it. Eventually, I'll get around to reading the first one. And this is the third trade paperback volume. I'm getting both second and the third. So, and mostly I'm getting it because if my dad likes something with comics, I always try and get him something to read because, well, he generally doesn't like it. So do your best. Let's see. Tomorrow's publishing. I'm getting back issue number 129. I'm not really sure which. Oh, there it is. That's the one on the left there. It has the Flintstones and different Hanna-Barbera cartoon characters on the cover. And the theme of that issue is TV Toon tie-ins with the Bronze Age classic Hanna-Barbera cartoons and stuff. And they'll have interviews with different creators and stuff like that. Probably talk about the cartoon comics that were done with different publishers during that era. And that'll be pretty interesting to read. Then I jump all the way to Vault. Whoops. And I get Barbaric, which I'm getting this cover that I just touched, not the one that's the Conan #1 knockoff, and Engine Ward, which is on the opposite side. And that Engine Ward is the last issue of that series, issue 12, which makes sense because it's about the Zodiac in a way, and there's 12 signs of the Zodiac, so there you go. So I'm getting those. And then I'm going to surprise the heck out of my retailer this month. Because people go, you don't buy manga. You never buy manga. And I actually am buying manga this month. I'm getting Melody of Iron on page 394, which is a collection of short stories by Osamu Tezuka. And it's 216 pages, so it should be really fun stuff. So I'm going to look forward to seeing that. I'm getting Fist of the North Star Volume 1. It's a classic series. This is 306 pages, and it's the newest edition, I guess. There's that. And I did get a Fist of the North Star single issue recently out of the back issue bins. And I'd always meant to get this, but I just never saw it anywhere. So when I saw this, as I was going through the catalog, I said, let's get it and see what I think of it in the end. Because I've always heard good things about it. And then we have on page 427, side by side, the Dirty Pair Omnibus and the Space Battleship Yamato Classic Collection. And I'm getting those. Those are two classic manga series. And for those of you who don't know, Space Battleship Yamato is the basis for the anime Star Blazers. So that's another reason why I'm getting it. And last but certainly not least, I'm also getting another Osamu Tezuka storyline. And that is A Life in Manga and Anime. Whoops, you can see the going the wrong way. There we go. So that is all the stuff I'm getting out of my catalog this year, or this month rather. Well, I take that back. There's actually a little bit more. I'm also ordering Heavy Metal Magazine number 307, Red Room number 2 by Ed Piskor, which is from Fantagraphics. Dose number 3 in Stranger Tractors, 3 from It's Alive Publishing. They Fell from the Sky number 5 from Cave Studios. Stake number 4 from Scout Comics. So there's other things as well, but that's pretty much everything. Now, my overall order for previews catalog in this book was $450. Add that to the $18 for the DC order. That's $468 for the month, not including anything I might order for crowdfunding or print on demand. Quite a bit of stuff. Um, so those of you who go, well, you never buy any Marvel. Do I have money to buy Marvel? I buy enough as it is. And I guess when I show these videos like these, I'm also trying to show folks that you don't have to be a Marvel or DC-ophile to enjoy comics. There's so much stuff out there. There's plenty of stuff to buy money on. And I didn't even cover, what little I got. I mean, what little I got. Money-wise, it's not little, but what I've got out of that catalog isn't even 10% of what Diamond offers. And the scary part is Diamond doesn't even, this whole catalog, as thick as this catalog is, and it's thick. You can see it's thick, kids. It's telephone book thick. This is only a fraction of what comics there are out there. Once you start including web comics, digital comics, not the same thing. Once you start including print on demand and crowdfunding, it's even more. So there's so much to choose from. And so I kind of get frustrated with people who go, why don't you order Marvel? But anyway, that's all for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for watching. If you want to reach me, you go to Lewis.BrightRaven at Facebook, at LewisBrightRaven2 at Twitter, DeviantArt.com/BrightRaven, Quoth the Raven, Lewis BrightRaven on YouTube, Quoth the Raven LBR72 at gmail.com, or LewisBrightRaven at yahoo.com. I prefer to gmail.com if you're going to ask me questions pertaining to the show. If you can't reach me there, try the Yahoo address. On Mondays, we usually cover comics, news, and reviews. Tuesdays, once a month for our previews. Wednesdays is what did you get this week? So tomorrow I will be back to let you know what I bought at my comic shop. Thursdays, we'll have roundtable talk. I don't know who my guests are just yet. I have to finalize those. Hopefully I'll have them finalized for tomorrow. Let you guys know. And Friday night is our genre night. Each week a different genre, sometimes with guests, sometimes not. This week, my regular semi-regular, I should say, co-host John Norris will not be available because it's Good Friday and Easter weekend, and he's got stuff to do with family. So I will try to get some people involved, but being holiday weekend, we'll see what happens. Alrighty. On Saturday and Sunday this week, I will be finishing up the live draw, inking the Recovery Incorporated Mia Raven drawing, and then a Batman and Predator drawing, hopefully. And I'll be inking over other artists on those. That's the plan anyway. So again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for What'd You Get This Week Wednesday.